Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. Today we're going to talk about the belief that you guys and gals have that marketing is hard. Probably the number one struggle, good economy, bad economy, I hear about is new business development. What's my weakness? New business development. Most recruiters hate it. Bluntly, for a number of years I did. I'm going to share some ideas with you how to turn that around. Let's look at why we hate it. When I'm in front of an audience, I'll ask, what is it you're afraid, what holds you back? What goes on in your mind? And I hear things like, I feel like I'm bothering them when I get a hold of them. I feel like I'm just another recruiter. There's reasons for that. We'll get into that in a minute. And we fear the rejection. And the truth is, when we really break it down, many of your best clients came as a result of you kind of getting in touch with them, doing new business development, whether it was via email, LinkedIn, the telephone, et cetera. And when you got a new client and he or she gave you an assignment that you filled, you weren't bothering them. They actually needed you. And maybe they were a little tentative at the beginning simply because the relationship wasn't there, but they needed you, they used you, and you had a good client, and that came as a result of a business development effort. Even if you say, well, the last one I got was from a referral, but probably a referral of a client you got from new business development. I've asked recruiters for over 20 years what holds them back in business development. And again, like I said, fear of bothering people, being just another recruiter, is they'll tell me like, well, I'm afraid I'm going to get hung up on. I'm going, how often does that happen? And they're like, probably almost never. So you're afraid of something that almost never happens. So ask yourselves here, just take a second. What are you actually like? What goes on in your head that holds you back from doing new business development? And then does that actually happen in the way you're thinking about it? Let's face what rejection is in our business. For the most part, when we talk to someone that doesn't want to use us, they say, thanks for calling. I don't need you right now. And call me back in a couple months. Call me back in a couple weeks. I might need something then. So when marketing is done the right way, you get clients on great terms. You build a pipeline for future clients for the people that are no, not nows, that don't need you now, but will need you at some point in the future. When it's done the right way, you successfully identify the people that are maybe too small or too big and not the right type of avatar that you don't have to probably follow up with again. And if you do this again the right way, you'll never work with bad clients on bad terms. I'm giving you permission right now. You've all filled your quota of working with bad clients. So I'm giving you all permission that you don't have to work with bad clients anymore. Just follow kind of the process. Again, done the right way, done consistently, and I'll talk a little bit about that more in a minute, you're rejecting more business than you're taking in while growing revenue. I'll say it again, you're rejecting more business than you're taking in, agreeing to work on the right terms while growing revenue. Again, when you're consistent with marketing and business development, you don't have to take crap. So here's just a small part of one technique I teach in our programs. One, you've got to bring value beyond, hey, do you have any openings? Stop asking, do you have any openings I can help you fill? I forbid you from asking that question ever again. It's a horrible question. It puts you in the commodity zone. Value is one point of value in a call could be having a phenomenal candidate. You might say, this sounds really old. We've been doing this. It's one of still the most effective techniques, and we measure everything here. Get a really great candidate. You can send out an email. It allows you to avoid some of that initial conflict that you're afraid of. Short email that really focuses on a couple big accomplishments. Avoid a lot of the cliche words, top-notch candidate, A player, all that crap. Here's somebody who saved $367,000 by implementing a financial control system and did this inside 47 days, more than justifying his salary for the year. This individual has several other examples, bullet point, of doing something similar in his company or previous companies. Look in your calendar. When's a good time for us to chat? I mean, that's just an abridged version of the technique. We use it a variety of ways in text, in email, and in voicemail. And if they don't reply to that email, you forward that email 2 days later and go, hey, Joe, did you see below? ? Mike. You just forward the email. It gets another 20 to 30% response. Once you get them on the phone, the whole goal of an email, by the way, is do not engage them in an email dialogue. Do not go back and forth in email. If they ask questions about the candidates, hey, great question. Looking at your calendar, what's a great time for us to discuss? Question mark. When you get them engaged, you have to create a habit and the skill set of asking phenomenal questions. If you open up with, do you have any openings or anything like that, you're going to slide down the chute into the commodity zone. Questions like, Ms. Hiring Manager, in the role that you're talking about, in 2 or 3 bullet points, how would you define excellence in that role? How would I know as a recruiter if I saw it? What are the questions I could ask? Looking at your business plan, somebody that doesn't need you right now, looking at your business plan over the next 3 to 6 months, where do you see expansion? Where do you see challenges, maybe with some existing team members that might need to be addressed that I should be aware of to keep you aware of maybe excellence in those areas? Those are just a couple quick examples of how you bring value to a call. Basically, there's 2 reasons marketing is hard in your mind. It's in your head, and recruiters sound like recruiters because they ask terrible questions, and they're all about making a placement and getting a job order. It's why you're treated like other recruiters. So use some of the techniques, bring value to the call with a star candidate, with a phenomenal candidate. Change your repertoire and ask really good questions when you get them on the phone. Those techniques alone, again, just teaching here in 5 minutes, will shift business development to something that's a real drudge. If you do it consistently, 3, 4, 5 of these conversations, not attempts, conversations a day, you'll have more business, I promise you, than you'll know what to do with. If this makes sense to you, you want more, we've mapped out this entire process in business development. It's one of the core, 9 of the core functions recruiting firm owners and solo desk operators need to build a successful practice and or business. We've mapped out the whole process for this business development technique, along with 3 other specific ones on marketing without cold calling that help recruiting firm owners go from being overwhelmed into clarity of what needs to happen for them this quarter, this month, this week, tomorrow. That gets recruiting firm owners going from not only overwhelmed to clarity, but roller coaster revenue to predictable income. How do you run a desk or run a business where I say, I want to have $1 million business? It's real simple. We have an entire process. You'll know when you follow the process, after you implement it, if you're on target for $1 million in an office or say $300,000 on a desk the next day. That's how precise this is. And how to go from annoying vendor to trusted advisor. How to become the go-to recruiter in your niche with the clients you work with on great terms with, oftentimes, again, done the right way, and we teach you how, with money up front. So what I'd invite you to do is get a free custom audit of your recruiting business, whether you're a solo operator or a firm owner. Someone on our team is going to walk you through and question you. You're going to give the answers on the 9 key areas that we know with our clients and in the industry that when these 9 things are in place and working well, you've got a really successful big billing desk or a 7-figure or multi-7-figure recruiting firm office. So that process takes about a half an hour. Just click on below. There should be a link for a calendar, and someone on our team will get back to you. Just kind of set up a time. We'll walk you through the 9 areas. You'll leave that with your own custom version of all 9 areas and how you've rated yourself based on what's installed. And we'll walk you through in that call a couple areas where you can gain some clarity and what needs to change now to get you to be a big billing solo recruiter or building and scaling an office. No charge. Again, schedule a call, click on the link below. You'll have the call. We'll send you out a document that will walk you through on the call, and you'll do the audit, and you'll have crystal clear clarity on where you need to work on. All right. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.